I think the only thing that I have to say about this matchup, personally for me, I don't know too much about APAC or a lot of their players or names, but I know Poco and Nico played against them. I know they've been in the league and whatnot.
Okay.
That is, you're bringing a lot of minds together, kind of craft it up.
Your coach-to-player ratio is bonkers, so I'll be feeling pretty good about that one here. To be Sigmas for both sides to set things up here, of course, a bit of a specialty of Poco's, as we've seen that. His prowess has been displayed over the years. Nico always on the May somehow. More known, I think, as like a projectile player. Farah, Genji were huge picks for Nico back in the day, so to speak. But here, France already take a very strong position on point.
I'm curious of the Bastion with the Echo setup, right? The Bastion can put down tons of damage and then just...
Oh, yeah, this is a great game. I'm liking this. I'm liking this. Let's go. You guys said, remember, you guys said France is going to win. They said that on the thing. I think Team Japan looking pretty strong, bro.
Tons of damage, but it doesn't matter. Japan cleans it up.
Yeah, I mean, they play for this high ground, right? I don't know if France, they're aware of this, right? France want to move in.
I might get a prediction right here, chat. You guys believe in me? Japan's going to win.
Gets pressured really heavily by
This is my first prediction. I'm going to get right. So far, I'm 0 for 3.
Keep the rest of your team hale and hardy, where a Bastion is raining down from that high ground. Japan now also opt to reassume that same high ground position. Let France push in, and the Frenchmen had better figure this out.
Yeah, it's like you have the Brig to kind of play with the Sigma, like on the low ground if you want, as we see from FD God's POV. He's going to get right up to the high ground, trying to remove some of those players from that, but. You also then have this Echo. It's a really interesting comp.
Wow, the fact that he didn't get that kill with the beam is crazy. Oh, what a rock!
A lot more durability now added to the mix, and of course the gravitic flux threat is always present. Again, easy come, easy go. QQ not able to find a connection because there was
no poor FD God almost didn't. He almost made it out.
Continue to extend their lead.
And still, you see that burst damage of the Echo start to come in. Really, Nico takes some shots from that Bastion, then. The burst damage, the focusing beam.
I went to France once and they were kind of rude, so I'm rooting for Japan.
So difficult for France to react. They really got to dump everything into that. Comp's been proven to really give them trouble so far.
Yeah, again, I mean, it's been an issue when Japan have just sort of gone up to that high ground. France now need to make good use of it themselves, but okay, they're going to use the wall here from Nico to split Japan up for the time being, but they're going to come back in with a rally. Avo gets taken down pretty much straight away. Cloud's Immortality Field does its work, but that Air Matrix is a scary prospect.
There you go.
From both sides.
France is coming back.
Yep. Kuki going to try and work his way through the back as Nico staved off by Mint here. France able to move in numbers for the time being. A gravitic flux from Poco will ensure that KSG goes ultra low, and even a kinetic grasp won't be enough to save him. But elsewhere, Kuki found FD God and already 2 eliminations.
This is an insane fight. The fact that Japan is still stalling this is crazy. 90%. France is going to have to come back and touch this.
Mint here able to just live all
which they can.
This, right? That rally comes through. It's huge there for Japan as they're on the cusp of taking this first point.
99-13 here, not a great start for France, and FD God almost goes low there, just the poke damage from Kuki, putting the fear of God in him.
Oh!
It's going to be a huge gravitic flux, it has to be an instant ice block used there by Nico, and a lot of pressure on Natlox, has to use an Immortality Field to help him and his teammates survive.
Oh, he's dead, he's dead. But his team is still coming back. Oh, no, it's even.
Nico, though, still stands. There's still a chance here for France. Yes, that's a scary prospect facing the other Nico down on this Bastion, but again, the Sigma...
Nice. That's nice. That's nice from France, though. I'm glad that it wasn't a 13 to 100. Nice. At least they kept it again.
Get a decent foothold.
And I think,
this is a good game.
Japan is going to have to figure out a way to keep KSG alive with these, May walls coming in and whatnot from Nico, because keeps getting caught out on the opposite side of that, trying to kinetic grasp, walk away, shield. There's just too much damage. They got to figure out another way to keep him up.
That looks... may have been considering setting up a Amp Matrix in the high ground, but that's a great first pick. Nico for Japan, able to find one on the French side of things, and that's a tracer out of the mix. That mobility now severely compromised. Kuki finds himself in the back line, and a quick pause is going to be called here.
I mean, the few times we've been to, Paris or France, for Overwatch, it's been incredible. I mean, just such a passionate, esports fan base. Is just like I was talking about. Once we get back in the game, a fast fight that goes in favor of Japan.
I don't think the headphones are just used for noise cancellation, because at the same time they're using those headphones to. I mean, they are noise canceling headphones, but they are using the mic from them
too
to
much,
talk.
even with
So maybe with the sound.
for this world, and nor the rest of Team France here. Japan come out of the gates with the Bastion set up. They use the high ground.
Nico wasn't even on the point.
convert.
Oh no.
It's a really nice comp there from Japan. The Bastion with that Echo combination going up against the Mei, right? The Mei want to play like a little bit more like control on the ground, where if you can keep your tank alive really kind of through some of that damage, and you know through the
headphones are for white noise.
You're going to be able to win fights
noise
pretty
cancel
convincingly,
and
just like
earphone is
that.
for the
And,
sound.
looks like we're gonna have some comp changes coming in here for round number 2.
Okay, so with the, I don't know if we'll see the Moira here. That would be a little bit surprising. But from Team Japan, again, much in the same vein as Australia.
Nice go.
Looking to demonstrate a bit more depth here. Again, the opportunities maybe to get your Bastion set up are a little bit more limited on this particular stage. But the Doomfist is a good look. It's going to put a ton of pressure on as we head to beach.
Yeah, I think it's just because this point is like very different, right? Where it's like lower, like it's like, you know, down underneath like this kind of main play area where, yeah, having some of that verticality there with the Doomfist can help out.
France don't have a flanker here to pressure this solo position that Nico has been playing with on the side of Team Japan. So good opportunity for Nico to set up in comfortable sight lines, providing that Avo doesn't pressure him down. Again, on the other side of things, though, there is a Tracer here for Japan, and they are doing exactly what we'd expect. Constantly
he killed someone with his,
gets caught in like a long-range disruptor.
Oh my god!
Clean up the Tracer as well. That's both DPS for Japan.
Okay.
Out of the picture.
Yeah, I'd love to see that like long-range
what is it,
disruptor
Avo?
shot.
Evo?
Like,
kind of popping.
That's typically not one we see get kills at range, right? Like end of fight, cleanup type of thing. You know, long-range cross-map disruptor shots. Typically not what we see there. Is Mint will end up playing Kariko. Gives it a little bit more dive potential, right? Can go in with that Doom, go in with the Tracer.
Yeah, the latter might be even more important.
This is the first time we've seen Akiri in this whole tournament, by the way. I don't think we've seen Akiri.
Catches FD God, and the follow-up is so good for Japan. Now
just read the name, bro. I'm really bad with names. Is it Avo? Evo?
Steps in to try and rescue Nico, and Ice Wall almost gets Nico out of trouble, but Mint will pursue and find the kill, and Poco is all on his own.
Mint, look, that's a support, by the way, chat. Healer, that's a healer, by the way, getting the first 2 kills of the team fight. Nah, ain't no way.
Really just trying to get this, the Mei was able to stay alive for a long period of time, then FD got
that's a nice healer, by the way, chat.
But just like that, Japan
it's a healer, by the way. Just want to let you guys know.
Boost to work with, so give this on to KSG, make him really difficult to take out.
In playing an extremity here, knowing that they can reposition in a pinch if needed. France obviously pretty slow moving, want to play fairly close together and want good sight lines. There's a lot to ask for here.
Oh, what a nade. What a nano to save his tank too, but his tank is still in there with like 50 health.
Kills have been found. Finally, there it is. Avo gets taken down as Japan take the fight.
That's crazy, bro. What's really crazy about that is the tank was in there with 50 health, but he like trusted his heals and he peeked them. So they were like he was in the LOS of them.
Coming down here as well as Poco gets
Team Japan is looking really strong, and I just want to let you guys know I voted for that team to win.
Just to maybe try and find somebody pushing up towards that spawn door, but now it is back to the Bastion. So Doom can obviously get into the backline. He becomes very tanky, right? You know, with his block.
Stop repeating it, Jay. Nope, I gotta say it. I gotta keep saying it so you guys know I'm not cursed.
Bastion, it's gonna make KSG second guess diving in there a little bit.
Means though Nico now might have a safer sideline to post up on here. It's going to be a little bit harder to put pressure at him at a long range. Juki looks like had to go for a recall there, and here comes Nico from the aforementioned sightline, but the sound barrier is going to make it a little bit hard to cut to the heart of the matter. Sees Poco on the floor.
Nice. Got the guy that was out of position.
The other Nico dropped to the low ground instantly, chases him down with the Mei, and of course FD God was right there with him. 3 players here with a Bardic Grenade here. KSG's able to leverage that into a kill, but just the one here going too low without Cloud in a position to keep him standing.
Yeah, and the issue is, right, you know, KSG uses, like, let's say Seismic Slam gets in, right, Rocket Punch, whatnot. When he goes to Power Block, when that Bastion's his way, you have that Sigma Rock, right? If Poco lands that rock, I mean, he should be dead in theory, right? I know he should be able to get that kill on KSG. He's going to have to use all of his cooldowns if they're back up to get out. So makes it very difficult to play this Duke.
We go.
I'm actually really interested why they keep Nano and KSG to go in.
Wants to go for a gravitic flux.
Nice pulls! Nice! That's a Jay3 pulls. Nice! Nice! I love watching chasers, man. So this is what it looks like when you guys watch me.
In control here, they once more they pull at that thread and unravel.
That was nice.
France's little Christmas sweater.
And the amount of times we see people stick a pulse bomb and that, immortality field just ends up saving somebody. Being able to connect the pulse bomb, then just destroy the immortality field right away as France making some last-minute changes just to get back.
Sombra Tracer here for Japan. It might be another attempt to mitigate the effectiveness of the Bastion here. Nico not able to get a hack on the other Nico.
Oh, so this is the first time we see the new Sombra, too.
And he still eventually gets brought down anyway. Kuki doesn't let him head back upstairs. But it looks like a couple players from Japan wandered into the sight lines of Avo, and that's two comfortable kills. The duo of Mint and KSG fall under a hail of bullets, and France will get it back. This one is going all the way.
Okay, chat.
Yes,
this is really nice.
One more fight here to decide this, where Mint will now switch over to the Brig. So
Japan has no ults, though. France has 2 ults.
Sombra in the mix, which we haven't seen really that much. Obviously, the rework just comes through, so...
He's dead. There's no way he lived. Wow.
Yeah. Able to live, though.
And obviously not the fastest moving hero.
That's actually crazy. He was able to kill the Ana with that ult.
Fane going down to the low ground here with the sound barrier.
Nice!
Wherever he needs to be. Poco is back. Make no mistake. Now on the D.Va.
Bro, Poco is disgusting on D.Va.
And it's that and the rest of Team France digging their
and they're going to. This is what I want.
And we're headed all the way.
This is what I want. Map
it's really
3.
Just having that sound barrier there towards the end, right? If you don't have that sound barrier, I mean, to allow you to just kind of like push on through, right? I mean, Poco and a few other players who had the biotic grenade there towards the end didn't really impact it that much, as you have that extra durability with that Lucio ult to go on.
Chat, it's not a curse.
For round 3,
Japan wins this one.
Volcano, Matt.
Japan wins this one.
Again, I think the last time we got to see, the only other time we got to see Samoa in a competitive setting might have been the show match, if you want to call that competitive. I guess
competitive setting. Oh man,
it's a slightly loose terminology for it here, but so far both of these teams respectively have favored.
Yeah, which one of these tanks do you think watched Danny's play and is taking some tips to go into this one?
Probably KSG is my thinking. Again, Poco being in here and not being sort of, obviously Ben Best is another option for Team France. They have all the tanks covered. Poco is definitely known more as like a Sigma and D.Va player with the.
I'm actually really surprised this is what Japan's running on this map. So when this map is more like, I feel like brawly, not really a divey.
Tanks from him, but what a great start. Kuki falls to the hyperspheres. And now, the Creation is just going to miss KSG, able to reposition. But FD God is picked off on the other side of things, so both teams down to 4, rather.
Yeah, and I mean, that pick-off on the Kuki at the beginning is huge, right? Because the Tracer really kind of wants to go in here with this Doom and play together, finish some kills off, as Japan will get point first. It looks like a rock that's going to connect on the KSG, but it looks like able to live.
Now, Poco's doing a very good job of tracking KSG's movements and making sure he can disrupt him with those accretions as they become available. But Japan took the point first. It's up to France here to make the way in.
I like this echo swap. I think there's a lot of look at the positions that you can play from here. A lot of really interesting off angles.
Look at this flank. Oh, that flank is so sick. Nico's caught there an ice block and
no one turns around my goodness.
Too busy dealing with KSG front and center. There were 3 players from Japan.
Oh my! The Doom is getting so much value. I didn't think the Doom would get value.
But maybe not much more than that here. KSG might elect to just throw himself at the point and die horribly. That's fine. A little bit more percentage for Japan.
A little bit of a brawl there towards the end ends up in France's favor. You can kind of see like when KSG goes in, there's so many players stacked up, right? Hitting some of these big punches that are stunning players into walls and whatnot. Wants to just kind of keep on going, but just the addition of the Baptiste, right? The immortality field and just the group healing, sometimes too much.
Cloud.
Get Nano the Echo here. I mean, you could easily find a kill that way.
Last time we saw KSG get that Nano just to give him a little bit more of that leeway to play aggressively. Double Bionate connection though. Cloud making good use of that vantage point here. That's the Meteor Strike coming in. Immortality Field did have to be deployed by Natlox.
Oh, he took over Lucio. Really?
Okay. Well, building a sound barrier wouldn't hurt here, but...
Wait, there's no way he builds a sound barrier, right, chat? There's no way.
That lack of mobility from France puts them in a position where they struggle to respond quickly enough, and this is serious pressure on Natlox.
Wow.
Alive, though. Can't even deploy those sticky bombs. A little bit of an awkward situation.
Jay, if you curse Team Japan, you're not allowed to have sushi anymore.
For now. Mint wants to extend this fight here with the rally, and Nico found Poco.
Yeah, they decide to rally, and I don't think that France can fight this, right? You're just walking into the rally with that Doomfist there, the Sojourn as well as
Wait, in the beginning of this fight, didn't France have the point, and then Japan just used the ults and just took over the point?
Pretty sick movement as well from QQ.
They didn't even get any kills, or they just used ults.
One more fight in this map, potentially, for France. They're going to open up here with the Matrix KSG. Block available. Not when the wall came up, though, so that's why he takes so much damage initially there and will be brought down. France have yet another chance to claw this round back, and it starts here.
Wait, why is he running back to spawn? Is he switching?
Swings and misses there from KSG.
Are they switching to Mei?
It's a power block, then just trying to build up some shields there, and just nobody home there.
But he's gonna be late. He's gonna be late. Oh, Nico's going Tracer.
Nico over to the Tracer. Maybe the thinking here is that more pressure on that Ana, or maybe even a pulse bomb deployed in Mint's direction could be a game changer. Here comes the Doomfist once more. KSG appears and quickly disappears with that Meteor Strike. Wants to still partake in the fight. No one's going to be forcing an Immortality field out so early, and FD God was still picked up by the Seismic Slam.
These shots.
Chuki out of the mix means there's a 4 versus 4, and France are in control. They've got a safe position to play this Sojourn from.
Yeah, but I wonder if Japan knows, right? They kill FD God and he's so close to Sound Barrier. I wonder if there's an opportunity to take advantage of this.
There's that sight line paying off here, but this is from the other direction. Nico over to catch Avo out here. KSG.
Good beat. Even though there's only 3 people alive.
Something more of an environmental flavor. Back towards the point here.
What?
Block is available. Going to throw it up just in time as the Immortality field came down, and not before. He got rid of FD God with that punch. That locks Nico.
Dude, Doom is just... I feel like Doom is just a crazy tank, and they C9... Oh, they didn't really C9. Oh. Nico.
Nico who finds 3, and now Japan see France in their death throes. Nico over to stand proudly on the point here. Is this just the dregs for France coming in? And that is not going to come remotely close enough. Overtime will tick down, and Japan take our first map.
Bro, that was a very good first game. This is probably one of the best series that we're probably going to get today.
Japan with a wrecking ball composition here off the rip.
Not a chill one.
Interesting as well, like the Lari with the Ana comboed with the ball, like really kind of relying on the Ana to provide a lot of the healing here for this wrecking ball.
Your execution with this composition has to be picture perfect, though. France are playing a very tried and tested, a very durable,
how you guys
robust setup.
Yo, Wrecking Ball. This is the first Wrecking Ball we saw today.
The Bastion and the Mei. But we've seen Wrecking Ball comps be able to disrupt this as well. They're so good at denying that setup, that positional play that the Sigma looks want to go for. Nice wall attempt there from Nico. KSG, though, as Wrecking Ball often is able to get away with the healing pylon removed here for Cloud. So that's
a mortality field.
They're already used here. I mean, KSG goes very low in that exchange as well, but is able to get away. Is in a bit of an odd spot, though, with only 180 HP.
Yeah, I don't know about the ball pick, chat. I'm sorry.
And that slower the Mei makes it impossible. Kuki, though, still turns that into
I think he's probably going to switch. There's no way he stays on ball, right? I think Wrecking Ball is like a throw.
Yeah, but there's no appeal for the supports, right? When you have FD God and the Lucio kind of just
there's no way,
Poco right in the mix. Yeah, you're going to see the swap off the ball straight away. I like the change off of Wrecking Ball. I would actually say, like, you look across the roster right now in terms of tanks, like Wrecking Ball is really, at least off the top of my memory, like the only one that really hasn't had like a moment in Overwatch 2, right? Where like they've been like really strong.
That's actually interesting. I've never seen a team hold on the left side.
Moments, opportunities,
where the forward spawns are, where the BAP and Bastion are. I've never seen a team hold from there.
Not able to make work in some of these comps.
We've definitely seen some teams flirt with the prospect of her. We saw that from
nice heals.
A fair bit this year. At times, eventually that was sort of.
But I think Doom just does like almost the same type of things now, just like better.
And that's why KSD makes the switch. All right.
This man is running right in front of a window. That's crazy.
Pile in. It's on for young and old. The duplicate of the Bastion is timely as ever. And now QQ can wrap around, maybe make some use of the last couple of seconds in this Bastion form as Poker gets a kill on the way out here. Not too shabby. Japan, though, going to begin this cap.
Yeah, we'll see if they're able to do it. Looks like at least Nico's still here, potentially here too. France is FD God working the outside as well.
Such an FD God thing to do. Look at him, straight for that healing pylon. He does remove it, but does he put himself in harm's way here?
FD God beated that to live?
Wasn't, brother, FD God sound barrier covered 2 players there. At least wasn't just a solo one.
What is?
I'm afraid France, the rest of them would probably have liked some more durability from that in that fight.
Yeah, maybe you'd love to have that sound barrier back. And I mean, you could see like, so when you're talking about like Doom versus the Wrecking Ball, right? Like Doom really kind of wins out in like every regard. Like maybe you can say displacement is a bit easier on Ball, right? Like the slam, just, you know, rolling in, knocking players around. Like Doom also does that with like seismic slam and the punches and whatnot. And also just has like more control over his mobility, right? Where Ball, you're gonna need to like latch on to stuff, get that movement right. Doom, it's fairly simple.
KSG trying to command the high ground here. The Gravitic Flux, though, might prove a wrinkle in that plan. A little bit of harassment.
Oh my god, wait, did he cancel that ult?
Wants to try and knock that Sigma around as much as possible. It's unclear.
Wait, what? That was insane!
Well, I mean, he gets like knocked in midair, like back in towards Team Japan. He's able to find one and somehow makes it back to the high ground. So, I mean, really interesting stuff.
Yeah, unclear if that really interrupted it. We'll have to keep track of that now as Ultimate no longer available there, of course, for your Sigma. Well, it's great to see FD got here on the Iniari. Not the normal pick that we see him on. QQ gets picked off though here, so now looks able to really put a lot of pressure on that airborne target here, and KSG takes
France is looking actually kind of strong right now.
Avo unloads on the
no wonder they picked this map.
Yeah, I mean, even if you kind of use your power block there, you're not going to be able to soak up that much damage, right? And then there's the damage coming from the opposite side. So now you'll see Japan, they'll make a change. It'll actually be moving away from Doom, and they'll actually play the Sigma here. So no Bastion in play. They'll stay with the Sojourn and Echo for now, but this will give them a little bit more kind of control. They're going to play a little bit of slower pace now.
We can see the thinking behind this map pick for Team France. They've really been able to control the pace and force Japan away from that aggressive composition. But nothing's going to stop Nico from finding picks like that. It's KSG folding though, as the shots come in response from Avo, which is again going to slow up this already much slower Japanese setup.
Healer, by the way.
Seems like they've not figured out a way to crack this. You know, not being able to get Poco off of that high ground. You're also just taking so much damage from that Bastion from afar. Right, you dive in to make a play for that Bastion when they were, you know, on some of the more dive heroes. You're just giving your back up to the rest of the team. It's very difficult to say. You're gonna have to use a duplicate there just to live.
And that's all it really achieves here. QQ almost gets brought down even outside of that duplicated form here. Hit by the captive sun by the looks of things, but Nico's going to be here with an overclock. The only target presenting itself right now was Poco, who, by the way, is about to unleash a Gravitic Flux here, which is going to hamper Japan in a big way. Eventually, QQ falls. Out that captive sun debuff gets popped, and Poco's able to take Mihawk out as he backs away. He's being chased down now, but Team Japan really investing in trying to get rid of the Sigma, and Poco's pretty safe.
Isn't that also like a character from One Piece?
I mean, he's been able to just dominate that high ground, which has been huge here for France. But now gets pushed off of it a little bit. Can Japan control the high ground? It looks like Nico even just getting it onto KSG, just trying to force him back.
One of the best enemies out there.
Super out of position right now. The Cardi's on the move, in fairness. Now, Mihawk, maybe one more shot here. There's no real way to keep Mihawk under the thumb there, though, from Avo, and QQ's able to pick him off, and that switch to the Genji. A little bit of extra pressure on the Bastion, of course, the threat of that deflect in your face. Mihawk has that nano available. He's going to send it to QQ, who does not have a Dragon Blade.
Yeah, what is he going to
be as
do with
aggressive
this?
as possible. Create some space.
At least they got the kill, though.
Extremely low, and in that accretion animation, exposes himself to the damage from Nico. Over time here, but it looks like the card is going to get there. FD God's not in a position to intervene. 3 players grouped up here for France as Avo heads to the high ground.
No, wow, Japan actually came back. Japan was.
And it feels
Japan
like
was
these
struggling.
are the moments that, like,
this is the first time I've seen Japan struggle
in World
other
Cup,
than
especially
besides
during
like
groups where, like, that is one where, I mean, think about
them
that.
going
France
against
one
South
fight
Korea.
away from
That was a very
them
intense match.
to being under the underpass, really, like once they capture the cart and they end up like giving it up. It's this kill out a little bit of a flank here. I mean, forced out.
Yeah, actually, that's actually really right. This feels like a final game. Yeah, this is actually.
Also, you're in no
feels like a
position to
finals.
provide sort of the lion's share of your healing. Maybe like a off-angle turret. Oh, that's very cheeky. Thrown on the other side of the masonry. Are they going to get caught though inside the Gravitic Flux? And I like that from Kiki, trying to make sure he goes below half.
Oh.
Here they come. Cloud going to get huge value off the detonations. And Kiki's
nice.
The Captive Sun Dragon Blade combo lays waste to France.
That was an insane combination.
Connects with like 2-3 players. So now Japan is rolling. overclock here potentially could be the thing that decides it. You also have like a nano coming up here, KSG or Yuki.
Nico with decent sight lines here. The ability also to transition up to the high ground in a pinch if needed. It's Mihawk taking down FD God. He is not beating those allegations. You know what ones I'm talking about. Nico going to back up here. Overclock in hand.
Wait, what?
Fighting grenade connection coming
oh,
in.
Nano Sojourn. GG's.
On this fight. Desperately Poker trying to stay alive here with that kinetic grasp, but gets blown to smithereens as KSG finishes the job. Nico and Overclock here, and FD God desperately wants to get involved.
Nice tracking,
down
bro.
Half HP before he touches the ground.
That has nice tracking.
Natlock's here, no chance to stay alive. In Japan,
wow, the fact that they were actually able to cap this whole thing after seeing how second point was going to be, I thought they were going to get full health, second health.
I mean, he's getting close.
Held on the second point.
That's
crazy,
right?
bro.
He finishes that round, I think, like 88%, right? He ends up living a little bit. What? That's like 88 to 100. That's like an amp and like a little bit of damage, right? I mean, that is an
insane,
easy sound
dude.
barrier there towards the end to be able to get the combo with Poco's Flux, which I think could have maybe been enough to hold there at the end, where that is massive for Japan. It looked like they were going to actually just stall out their attack once they took that first checkpoint. Like they were really making no progress. Poco able to dominate the high ground. All of a sudden they turn that into a full map completion.
Japan on top, baby. I'm rooting for Japan, man.
Involves from Japan. Mihawk gives a nano boost over to Kuki, I think, on the Genji. But there's no blade available. He's at like 40% charge, but he dashes towards Poco, and I think it's a couple shuriken throws. Already the sequence very low. Obviously the damage and
I think they're talking about the last fight on second point. I think they had to use the nano on Nico. Because if they don't use the nano, they're just going to save it for Overwatch 3.
It's not common that teams focus the tanks down first, but it's just where Poco ended up being.
They're going to be saving it for the next World Cup.
Like, was the most viable target there.
Let's see what happened.
Oh, I have to go.
So,
all right.
A little bit of a flank here.
Nice shots.
Just takes 2 shots, yeah.
I mean, the homie's not even feeding. He's just trying to live his best life in the background there and get some
Homie isn't even feeding. He's just trying to live his best life.
I don't know if they call the background, the wall where the card is approaching the end of the map out in the opposite side.
Uber shouts at Matt Mr. X. I love them.
I mean, he has
his own business in the back.
He hasn't set thrusters to warp feed there and still gets picked up. So
thrusters the warp speed, bro.
Having a great spot there to find a huge opening. Taking the Lucio out of the picture straight away. France, though, already trying to maneuver into a closer position to get themselves within striking distance of the point with this wraparound.
I like this from Japan, though. You have this Ash in the mix, right?
Nice. Now we get to see Ash. That's what I'm talking about, bro.
Bio grenade on the opposite side. They had to use a Mei wall. They're really more of like a defensive manner. Let everybody get healed up.
Yeah, maybe at first glance you think that Mei wall's intended
to
sleep
on FD God.
He's able to pick himself up, though. That immortality field does a lot of work there, but Nico's got a filthy off angle here. FD God, though, that's the other side of the coin. He's able to get in there and deal with KSG, who was playing.
What I noticed about a lot of, like, obviously more pros, they left click a lot more than they right click. I right click a lot more than I left click.
To get value out of that off angle.
No, will you be able to actually kind of like keep this going here? If you're Japan, you're going to lose another player. It doesn't look like our tank is going to be able to make it back in the mix.
I mean, no, this is just too powerful a position.
Wait, Japan lost this fight already? Bro,
there's
what?
No need to even do that at this point. France with that kill on the Sigma.
Okay, that was interesting because it looked like Nico and the rest of the squad ran backwards and Mihawk ran forwards right into the rest of the crew. Where I think you could have gotten, Nico set up on the high ground there on the Ash, right? Now you're
Jay, can you stop jinxing us? How am I jinxing you guys? What is Japan doing, bro?
Piece by piece, essentially, just rushing up there would be pretty problematic for them. They still have to deal with a very quickly built amplification matrix there for Natlox. Poker really just a token resistance at the high ground.
He's
not really
doing, Jay. Meg,
trying to take it, but he does want to draw KSG over there, so there's less defensive architecture for players on that high ground. Gives some opportunities for Nico and Kuki to get in there, find these kills. Poker low. Oh, that focusing beam is very scary, but Kuki, I mean, a little too low to the ground there.
Duplicate there. Yeah, he was going to go for the dupe. That's kind of what he's been doing, is like he goes in a little bit maybe too far, but gets a dupe off and then able to kind of like keep fighting that a little bit, but doesn't get it off there.
Avo's low, though. His high ground control now actually starting to manifest on the kill feed.
Healer, by the way.
Shot will get the job done, and Cloud finds 2 there. And this is the other side of what Iliari can offer you.
Chat.
Now all of France forced to bundle up inside that small room, but they're playing against the Sigma this time, so that is a scary prospect. Nico, though, might have a response here. He's forced to use his Ice Block early and pops out of it to try and take Cloud by surprise, but the cavalry soon arrives.
Nasty shots. Yeah, I mean, Cloud hitting some sick shots there on
those are some nice flicks, though.
Able to take out Avo range, and then now this is where if you're Japan, burn as much clock as possible, right? Even if they get this in an OT, you still feel like this is a winnable situation because you've completed the map. At that point, you just need like a fight or two and you're good to go.
An early Gravitic Flux here for KSG might be an option. All of France were filtering out of this small room, but KSG, okay, gonna go for it anyway. Gravitic Flux came out. Okay, Immortality Field was there to respond. Natlog's good deployment there. The Bastion ability.
They know that France is split a little bit though. They know that like, okay, now FD God's gonna get the bash and the rest of the
That's dangerous.
This is gonna be a duplicate, yeah.
Here's a Gravitic Flux that's going to catch
See,
Mihawk on the
this
high
is
ground.
something that I think a lot of lower ranked players need to realize. That was actually insane healing by Japan. That was insane healing by Japan. But what a lot of lower ranked players need to understand is that, look, Poco just went to go solo flux to Ana. I feel like getting a pick on that Ana would have been huge, and that like has the that is just getting that one pick is enough to change the whole fight.
And now France, they
but I see a lot of lower ranked players just trying to save their ult so they can get a big goal or get a 5K or 3K. You don't need that.
Beautiful biotic grenade,
but that was insane healing by Team Japan.
You've got the
dynamite. They try and speed out, right? You got dynamite, right?
And a
nice dynamite. That was a nice dynamite.
Poco as well, Nico both hit by that bionic grenade, and they're forced to stand in place. Ice Block was used there for Nico. That basically says to all of France, we cannot advance past this point. You need to play with that May if you can. They are going to be able to get into the safety of that small
That was another big ult. What a wall, bro. What a wall. What a great wall by Nico. Wow.
Bully their way to the high ground.
I wonder if they're going to be able to have another fight.
They a huge captive sun, and I think all their eyes light up of like, hey, this is a sick opportunity for us.
Well, nah, they were too staggered,
Sound barrier in that May wall locks Cloud and KSG in position, but there's some changes. You have a Bob here in the mix. Maybe they want to try and contest.
I don't think there's enough time. They're going to go for it anyway. Straight over the top, there's KSG on the Doom Fist now, and Cloud going to get there to try and keep them standing. They can't keep the Doom alive. Bob got caught on the wrong side of the wall.
Nah, I think France is definitely going to take this.
Front line, and that was too tempting a morsel to refuse. Japan down 2-3. Not a whole lot they can do from the periphery of this fight. Will eventually be forced away.
Nice.
Yes, I think
2.5 minutes, Jan. Japan. France has a chance to win this.
Make it out as
to make it 1-1.
If there's any changes, so Nico will play the Sojourn here. So Sojourn in the mix now for Japan is KSG will stay on the Doomfist.
Guys, is this a pre-recorded stream? Yes, I recorded this December 2023.
Nico is it's a big ask there. Even the God Hand trying to take an Iliari at long range as May. Tough fight to win there. But look at this, France get a lot of free real estate now as they went with the Amp Matrix play to force Japan back. Kyuki duplicates Bastion.
Oh my god, chat can't take a joke.
France are still advancing. Just under 2 minutes to play for here. Japan have to strike and they have to hit hard. FD God's going to get very close to a sound barrier now, and the Gravitic Flux strikes gold. KSG, how do you get out of this one? Skittering back towards spawn if he can, as Poco takes a ton of damage from the sticky bombs over the top. He'll have to go back now.
It's not this. So don't take it so hard.
Captive Sun as well, but it looks like that's eaten by Poco.
Still, Cloud survives a little longer here. Enough time for KSG to maybe make something happen. It was Nico to find the other Nico. You actually go for that? Oh, that is absolutely unhinged. KSG
There's no way he's alive.
Power block does a heck of a lot of work
like this is insane. Usually in comp or on the ladder, people like this that do that stuff would die because their healers don't heal. But like being able to trust your teammates is just insane.
Really tough spot, but look at this, trying to push in towards his Doomfist in these close quarters. Get a ton of impact with his abilities.
He bought time for another power block too, Matt. That's what's crucial. Yeah, I mean, I thought he'd get
they're going to be able to get the Ana, yep.
Not able to get away. Avo just catches in there with that last little strike. Kyuki's able to respond, and it's two supports down across the map, and Poco with the Hyperspheres managed to catch on Nico. Now KSG's caught out in the open here with not a lot of damage coming from those off angles.
I think even though Japan might have lost this, it's still really good.
40 seconds left here for France. And they're going to get there, no doubt about it. Blizzard now just to seal the deal.
Because they still got it under a minute. Now they both have attack.
Spare. It's a 35-second lead.
Yeah, I mean, it took them a bit to break that second point hold, but once they did, a lot like how Japan was on their offense, just rolled right through that last phase of the map. Just France still had a little bit more time.
It's hard not to see France as genuine favorites on this map. They really set the pace with these Sigma compositions, but in a couple of small moments, Japan were able to gain advantages here. Definitely felt like there was a chance, even with 3 minutes left on that last phase of the map, to hold. But France are very good at really bullying into position with this Sigma composition. You got a lot of players that really want to be aggressive. Nico, FD God, of course,
I like the
able to
little
use that mobility. And again, just try and stay out of these really long sight lines. I guess I kind of wonder, you know, we have a pretty slow composition from France, and Japan has an option here to make use of Zenyatta if they were inclined.
Yeah, I mean, they switched to it towards the end, but like Zen with the Illari, just not a lot of like heal potential. Like I think here with an Ana in the mix, you could go for it, right? Ana, Zen, have a little bit of the Discord, maybe make it easier for Nico and Kyuki, like to finish some players off, right? Harmony, you can just slap it on KSG and just forget about it, right? So an opportunity to run the Zen here, thinking that you're not going to be under any pressure.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. Thank you.
You know, FD God will chase you down.
Thank you.
If he kind of sees you off on your own, but maybe that's a fight you're willing to think that Cloud can take.
While Zen Iliari definitely didn't seem like it made a lot of sense in terms of overall healing throughput. This composition offers you a little bit of both worlds here. Obviously, Ana can absolutely nail KSG with constant healing, providing he stays in that line of sight. And you have a lot of threat with that Discord Orb and constant damage here for Cloud. High ground already assumed here for this Japan roster. Now France have to stay out of line of sight playing that left side.
Okay, chat, do you think Japan caps? Get a tick. They only have 30 seconds.
Yeah, can you get this Zen in position where it's gonna oversee the point and get that volley of orbs going down? Is they had one player low there.
I think Japan's going to cap.
But,
ooh, they did get the first pick on the main. That's actually a really huge pick. Actually, Poco's down. They are capping this.
Block there. That was a bit of an insta-kill. Poco also falling. Now, this is getting ugly for Team France now as Kyuki looks to tighten those thumb screws just a little bit more. Avo is able to at least stand on 2 feet here, but Japan want the cap, and they've already got 2 ticks here. As the fight was going, they're already underway. FD God would probably think about stalling, but it's too late in the day for that in Japan.
That's
now
huge.
Now with overtime, to be fair, but still, they get this first checkpoint, and that could be huge.
And what's even bigger is that Kyuki is going to have copy.
So interesting, can control the high ground a little bit more. But that's
they're going more of a brawl.
Spawns to make big changes. So we're gonna have Arisa in the mix here. The first time we're
I think their Arisa is used to stay on point because if they have Mail and they throw Mail to point, at least he can survive. And just, what do you call it?
Poco running into KSG like this?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is, right? Can't really kind of like hold his ground in the cart and battle it out, right? They have to get quite aggressive as now you've lost Nico again.
He's down once more. KSG looking a little bit worse for wear, but eventually Japan able to regroup here and get this Arisa comp really starting to tick over. Avo, this is a desperate play to the back line here. You'll notice they're struck with the Discord Orb now. Can they get it out of the picture? Kyuki duped the Diva to try and chase Avo down, but loses out in that duel. Rare thing to
what
see
is
from
Team
Diva.
France doing?
Well, Kyuki, of course,
They're
remember,
just
built
letting,
that ultimate much quicker in dupe form, and that includes getting back in the mech after being desuited. Cloudy seems to be under no pressure and has a Transcendence available. This is looking pretty scary. France have to shut this down now, and they try to go for this Amp Matrix. It's an odd spot for it.
Oh, yeah, I think France, this is where France holds, I think. I don't know. It looks like it. They had, like, Japan surrounded.
Trace is coming back in. FD God's very close to a sound barrier, though, and looks to try and force them off the cart here. Japan now down to 3 plays.
Yeah, I think this is where France definitely holds.
The Lucio a little bit late. And Japan looks like they're eventually going to be ground down.
That's a good push. That's a good push, but France has a minute 35
on the clock, though. That is a pretty significant push. Right?
That's a good push.
If you're Japan, you're looking at things right now, right? A minute and 30 on the clock. You get 1 hold on point A. Then they're pretty much an OT from there on out, right? Going into this second point, and you can control high ground, especially if you want to play that Ash again.
I'm looking over occasionally and I'm seeing what you're typing, and I cannot read that out loud, my dude, but I'm curious if you're okay.
Just play the Ash again.
Yeah. That off-angle Ash, try not to just lose your tank at the start of the fight.
Yeah. I mean, I thought that comp was quite good. I mean, you can play with the Doom here, right? Like, the Sigma is not essential for like holding like a high ground or anything, right? If KSG feels like he's able to survive.
Chat, did you guys also know that I had dinner with Millen
on the
when I
Doom?
first landed in LA?
Like the Doom is giving them trouble, right? it's not like France is, you know, picking him off every time, landing these accretions and finishing him off, right? So commit to the doom.
He actually invited his stepdad.
Survive on that, you think this?
I just want to say his stepdad's actually pretty nice.
Pretty impactful the first go on defense, can do it again, right? You know, one win fight here for Japan starts to give them a good ultimate bank that they can also, even if they give up the point, carry over in that second checkpoint. You're not gonna have to switch anything up.
Again with the Iliari set up when Cloud.
Oh, sorry, I didn't finish it. Yeah, his stepdad's pretty nice.
Significant prowess on that particular pick. Avo wants a
With his
second
hands.
bite of the apple here. Kuki dangling tantalizingly above the statue, but eventually we'll be switching back towards the Sojourn.
Is just a little bit safer, right, with the Sojourn going in rather than Widowmaker. The Widowmaker could be a pretty good dive target. Look at that. That's a punch there from the side. And
But it was Korean barbecue, chat.
Like,
I mean, no, it was Japanese barbecue. He was good at cooking.
Worst case scenario.
Not only, Matt, did France have to fight through a brutal group in the European qualifier. Like, the teams in their group were just disgusting. Now, going up against the team that no one really has information on. If you've been watching contenders in that region, that's a different story. But, you know, conversely, Team Japan have not ever scrimmed a European team. They really don't know what they're going into, so they play their stuff.
Really? Team Japan has never scrimmed a European team? Really? That's actually very interesting.
On a diva look now.
The diva can put, yeah, it can put more pressure on the back line, right? And then also eat some of these, like, dynamites that come on through, right? So, what you're trying to do here with that diva.
High ground pressure.
I love seeing Ash being played at this level. It makes me very happy.
The enemy Nico, evil Nico, whichever one you prefer. The Tracer tries to wrap around. Dynamite here, but Nico really wants to try and line up something a little bit more tasty. That one will do. Mihawk brought down, the Tracer eventually finding purchase now. Nico
he almost has
in
Bob.
a position to intervene, so
oh, this is insane. This is last fight. This is last fight. Poco, he's going to need to live to touch.
QQ duplicates a Lucio again. That's happened again. Lucio.
Wait, he almost has beat. He almost has beat.
He doesn't care, but look, and the spacing you can create for your DPS with the boop is actually pretty impressive. Poco's going to run out of gas here. There's no more juice left.
No way. This was a 2-0, but this was a very fun 2-0 to watch.
All France at bay. That full hold is going to lock things up. A 2-0 victory for Japan.